Hello, everyone in New Zealand, the Philippines, and Taiwan. We're the Men in Blazers. That's Rog. I'm Davo. And the flags are right in front of my head. Huge weekend in the Premier League, Rog. We're now 29/38 of the way through the season.
It's over again for the 11th time this season.
Well, it's not over, Rog. It's still close. It's getting closer. We've got 7 teams fighting for 4 or 5 if you care about the Europa. All these teams fighting for the top places. Chelsea certainly 6 points clear, but they had a wobble this weekend. We'll get to that. But the biggest game in the Premier League this weekend that could have far-reaching consequences was Man United's demolition of Spurs.
A clash between two teams, one organised, disciplined and on the march to glory. Pochettino Spurs. The other, a philosophical mess, a torrent of just lack of form, lack of core, lack of any identity. Van Gaal's United.
And yet,
the
a
game
different
kicked
team
off.
showed up.
Yeah,
a
on
different
both sides.
United.
Spurs can only be described as very, very Spursy in this game.
Perfect adjective.
17 passes in the first half. That's all they completed. But Manchester United, Davo, who knew they could pass the ball forward with venom?
They passed the ball forward with venom. And significantly, for the first goal, 3 forward passes in succession. Ends up, ball at Fellaini's feet. Great pass from Michael Carrick. Bam, 1-0
We thought that Louis van Gaal had just in training said, lads, just pretend you're passing it back to David De Gea, but do that forward.
Exactly.
Whatever it was, it worked. United were phenomenal. They're absolutely potent. Carrick looked terrific. And then Daley Blind on the wing was just an absolute terrier. Wayne Rooney, crazy tactically. They played him as a centre forward.
Players were playing in their regular positions, which they've trained their whole lives for. Radical thinking
with a
from Louis van
magical moment
Gaal.
in which he tore through the gut of the Spurs defence. And the only thing that was more comedic than their efforts to tackle him was his celebration.
His celebration, Rog. He basically did a punching move and then went flat on his back. Beautifully executed. Wonderful comedy from the king of comedy himself, Wayne Rooney. But all of this referring back to a video that went viral in the UK, around the world. I'm sure you've seen it in your home countries. That was sold clearly to the Sun newspaper.
The bottom-feeding tabloid.
By one of Wayne Rooney's mates, who recorded him larking about with his mates, including Stoke City's Phil Bardsley, in the service kitchen of his house.
His mini kitchen.
With boxing gloves.
Don't do it in your
Rooney
mini kitchen,
takes
Wayne.
Do it in your main kitchen. Takes a left right in the nose from Phil Bardsley. Goes down. Would have been the huge talking point of the season, certainly if Rooney had played badly, if Man United hadn't have won. Instead, Rooney scored that amazing goal. United had an amazing performance, and he did that celebration and went out.
So Manchester United are back!
They're
or
back!
Are they? Possibly not. We will find out on Sunday when they play against Liverpool, who won again against Swansea in a very unbelievable style. They played extremely poorly. The goal itself was a deflection that bounced off Jordan Henderson and looped into the net. That is how you win games. It was a shackle.
It was a tackle that turned into a shot that went in the back of the net.
United crushed Liverpool in their last game, but since then, Liverpool have had 30 points out of 36 they've taken. An unrecognisable team. This Sunday's is going to be a clash for really of the season, as far as I'm concerned.
Meanwhile, on the blue side of Manchester, Rog, Manchester City, the defending Premier League champions, trying to make up some distance on Chelsea. They go to Burnley, a game that they probably expected to win, but a game actually that they drew at home.
And bravo, Burnley.
Oh, amazing performance.
Bravo. We admire you. You're in the relegation zone, but you play with confidence, with verve. Even though City had all the quality, you took the game to them. And in the 61st minute...
Danny Ings runs down the right, gets a free kick. Di McAllis can't deal with him. Ball flips in.
Vincent Kompany with a beautifully weighted assist.
Straight onto the half volley for George Boyd.
The ugly Radamel Falcao.
Half volleys it into the back of the net. Fantastic goal. 1-0 to Burnley.
Today we are all Burnleys. We are so thrilled for that little team, a tiny town of just 60,000 people, trying to achieve the impossible. Manchester City, insipid. Yaya Toure could not look more disinterested. Huge, huge pressure on Manuel Pellegrini, who at the end of the game...
Yeah, his eyes were so red, it honestly looked like he'd been crying for an hour.
Bless, I hate to see an old man in pain.
Chelsea had a chance, Rog, to go 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League on Sunday morning. However, they were held by Southampton in a script that's coming all too familiar for Chelsea. Chelsea go ahead on a goal from a very unexpected source.
A Chelsea striker.
Diego Costa, his 18th Premier League goal of the season, and yet we were surprised to see him score because he's been slumping along with some of his other teammates.
Chelsea 1-0, it used to be game over.
Yeah, not anymore. Southampton come back into the game. Actually, one has to say this was a fantastic game of football, Rog. Southampton came back in. Matic fouls Mane, and Tadic ends up converting from the spot. An all Serbian affair, that penalty. 1-1. Game goes back and forth. Chelsea come out in the second half, play exceptionally well.
Southampton deeper and deeper. Chelsea last 70 minutes, in the last 20 minutes, had 11 of their 22 shots. Fraser Forster in goal.
Yeah, bravo, Fraser Forster.
Strong
Fantastic.
Wrist. Incredibly
man.
strong
Very
wrist.
Middle-earth looking.
1-1 at the end of the game. Southampton, they show no fear and they never give quarter.
Yeah, Chelsea still have a game in hand. Jose, in his post-match interview, a very bizarre post-match interview, starts really flirting with the reporter, just asking him what he thought about the game, refusing to answer any questions himself.
Showing
but he
none
does
of the
pull
happiness
out.
of a man who's 6 points ahead, goal difference ahead, a game in hand on everybody else who's chasing.
But in a masterstroke, he immediately calls out Arsene Wenger, says that Arsenal have a really good chance of winning the Premier League, starts goading the Arsenal manager and the Arsenal fans as well. Anyway, we'll see. Still a lot of games to go in the Premier League. I still think it's going to be a tight race, and if not the Champions race, Rog, it's going to be the race for the Champions League places. It's going to be gripping.
Do not take your eyes off it in New Zealand,
the Philippines or Taiwan.
You can in Taiwan, but everywhere else, keep